I'm going to show you how to make somebody look better than they actually do, subtly. You might have noticed a wider anamorphic look. We got a new lens. We got a video on that coming soon. I'm going to show you my process of how I go about retouching and editing headshots, and I do it the same every single time. Every headshot, exactly the same. Now we got our headshot in Photoshop. First thing we're going to do is clean up the background. AI has made that incredibly easy. So we're going to cut out this back part. We're just going to generative fill, auto-generate. Pick which one looks best. This one looks better. If this is a real headshot, I'd take a bunch of time and make sure this is nice and flat. You can see the frame of the backdrop coming through because it was set up next to a window. Once we're happy with our background, step 2, I go in and I clean up the clothes. And then as you see, I have a bunch of food on my shirt from my child and dog hair and all kinds of fun stuff. I'm going to do this quickly. I'm not going to get everything because it's not that important for this. My screen's so dirty, I can't tell what's on the clothes and what's not. Once we're happy with how the clothes look, cleaned up, no dog hair, no whatever, nothing obvious, we're going to go in and we're going to work on the face. So I have a set of actions that I use, and I'll put a link to it in the description of where I got them. I think it's like $40 or something, and I've used it hundreds of times, and it's worth every penny. It's easy, it's quick, and it works well. So we have this list of actions over here, and there's only about 3 or 4 of these that I use regularly. So I always start with the skin mattifier and make sure our subject isn't shiny. And we're just going to brush over the shiny parts. You still get your highlight on your face, but it's not very super shiny. And then I like to use the light pore removal. This is good for like dry skin or dark pores or stubble that doesn't need to be there. Small things it gets rid of pretty easily. So we're just going to go in and kind of clean up a little bit of dry skin there. It's gone. And when you're editing headshots, it's really just about getting a lot of the little details fixed, not big overarching sweeping changes. Because as a bunch of little details are fixed, then overall the image just looks better. If they're smiling, I go in and use the teeth whitener. But I always run through the eye enhancement, which is where we get the pop in our eyes. And I found with darker color eyes, you can leave it at 50% that it starts in. But as the eyes get lighter, you need to dial it back so it's not crazy overkill. So we're just going to brush this in. You can see it kind of pull the catch light out. And you can see my eyes are kind of light. They're darker color, but they're lighter of that dark color. So we're going to dial it back a little bit, about 20, 25%. And then since I was sick and tired, we're going to go in and fix the darkness under my eyes a little bit. So we're going to use this dodge and burn tool. Take it to the top. We're going to dodge. We're going to turn it opacity down a little bit. And we're just going to paint in some of these dark areas just to lighten it up a little bit. Looking rough. So like as you can see, like just looking at it, it doesn't look that much better. But once we merge them all together and turn it off and on, you can really see how much of a difference just small changes makes. And that's pretty much it. We want to edit them to make them look better, but we don't want to over edit so their face looks really like painted and covered and cakey and just like unnatural. We don't want that. One thing I always do at the finish of the retouch is to sharpen the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, just in the middle of the face to really bring it, like to really make it pop. And to do that, I have a action built. If you don't use actions and you do the same kind of editing over and over again, make an action for it. It'll save you a ton of time. So I have it called Sharpen 20, but I'll show you how I do it. I'm going to hit Command J to duplicate the layer, and then we're going to filter, sharpen, unsharpen mask, and we're going to do amount 20, radius 20. Okay. And all right, once we have our mask, we're going to go in with a white brush. We're just going to go in and paint over the eyes, eyebrows, nose, down the ridgeline, and around the mouth. And you can really see the difference toggling this on and off. Really makes the face pop. And this is kind of this is your before and after of just the face retouch. It's very subtle edits, but it really makes a big difference in evening the skin out and really making the face pop. All right, step 2 in this edit is to edit the color and the look of it. This is how I do it. Again, there's a million different ways to do this. So I always edit with masks. So we're going to select the subject, select the background, and we're going to edit the two separately. So we're going to start with the subject, and I always just add just a little boost of exposure, a little bit of contrast. Drop the highlights, boost the shadows, boost the whites, drop the blacks. We're going to take it down. We add just a hair of dehaze, probably about 5, 6. We're going to go to the background. Depending on the background, edit this to make it look good. For this, I like to boost the highlights, drop the shadows, drop the blacks a little bit, up the contrast, a little bit of clarity for the texture and the fabric. And we're just fine tuning here to get the look we want. I typically will add a gradient. We'll make sure the face is and the upper body's in there. We'll invert it and we'll drop the exposure just a hair. It kind of creates a more precise vignette. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's just kind of a balancing act of making their skin look better, whitening their teeth, making their eyes pop, adjusting the color to make it not flat, and just bringing it to life subtly. You don't want it to look like it's been crazy edited. Like, I've gotten comments from people that are like, when will I see the final image? And it's like, well, that is the final image. And if you saw the before image compared to this one, you would agree. But some people want their headshots pushed a little further. Some people, it's a balancing act. I always offer to retouch people's headshots if they don't like them, or if they want to like soften their wrinkles in their face, or if they want to bring the shadows under their eyes up even further. It's tough. Like, you want to make them look how they look in real life. You want to make sure that anything's like a defining feature of their face, that you don't remove it. Like, for me, I have a birthmark on my forehead. Like, that's not something you want to remove. That's part of who they are. That's part of their face. So don't take that out, but like any type of acne or redness or things that aren't always there, go ahead and take those out. There you have it. That's how I retouch a headshot in Photoshop and then color it in Lightroom. Remember, it's all about being subtle, making a lot of small changes versus big overarching sweeping changes, and making sure to sharpen the eyes, the nose, and the mouth to really make their face pop. This is a good process to develop because once you have it down, like I have it down to a science between the shooting, the editing, and the grading, and you get good at it, and you can make some money doing this. You can roll into a company and you can shoot 10 headshots at $200 a person and just cycle them through, get through to 10 headshots in 2 hours, maybe less. Making people look good is a good skill to have. People want to look good on their LinkedIn profiles, their resumes, everything else. And if you can make them look good, make them feel good about how they look, you can make some money. And that's it.